Hey, this is John with 2 Moose Home Inspections, and welcome to the Inspector's Toolbelt series. Today's video will center around getting on the roof. Roofs can be very dangerous, and some roofs are more dangerous than others, so pretty please make sure that you're taking the proper precautions to make sure that you're safe whenever you're on top of a roof. At 2 Moose Home Inspections, one of the things that we do is we wear all the proper gear and we use all the proper ropes. So for instance, we have a rope like this that could pretty much lift up an entire car, but it's just gonna lift up us. So that's pretty good. We also use slings such as this that we then secure to an anchor point that cannot move using carabiners, but not just one carabiner, but 2 carabiners on every side. So it's very important to make sure that you are properly anchored, you're properly tethered, and you have the proper type of rope. Do not just go and get a rope from some local hardware store. This rope is very, very, very specific and is for a very specific purpose. And pretty please, don't just think that any rope will be able to protect you, because it won't. It can't. Check out some videos on YouTube. That's all I can say about that. So how does this work with us? Well, one of the things that we have is we have a fall assist system here that has a bungee. And this bungee here allows me to take up some of the slack, some of the shock, without actually pulling out all of the webbing that is, protecting me from that shock of the fall. Now, all of my devices have a 2 to 3 locking mechanism type of carabiner, so that way it can't come undone. And then this particular device right here, the way this works is that the rope will go into it, and when the rope goes into it and it locks into place, I can no longer fall, but if I need to move up, that's not a problem, but I can't fall. And that's what we're looking for safety. Now, one of the things that you might notice is that I have 2 of these. And so why is it that I have 2? The reason I have 2 is because at one point I'm gonna be on one side of the roof and the other I'm gonna be on the other. If I completely unhook, although I feel safe doing so, I could fall. So by having 2, I know that I am always secured. I've pulled up the rope slack on the other end, and so that way, whether I jump off one side of the roof or the other, or fall, let's say, then I'm completely protected on either side. And that's just one extra precaution that we take just to make sure that we're extra safe whenever we're on your roof. Now, granted, not all roofs are safe to walk on, because if you have a clay roof, that could be damaged. If you have some type of wood roof, where the shingles are made of wood, that can be damaged. Some metal roofs can be damaged. And so it's not always the right thing to be on top of a roof. And so I won't always recommend that I will go onto a roof, but it's one of those things that it depends. As we have said earlier in other parts of other series, it 100% depends on the situation of whether or not it's a good idea. If we don't go to the top of the roof, then we'll use our 360 camera on the end of a 10-foot long pole. And that 10-foot long pole with a 360 camera using the iPad will allow us to do a very good inspection of the roof. Follow that up with the thermal camera that we're going to be using on the inside of the house anyway, and we have a pretty good idea if there's any missing leaks. So with this equipment, how do we get the rope up and over? Well, in olden days, it was let the smallest one run up, anchor the rope, make it secure, and you're good to go. That's not how we do things here at 2 Moose Home Inspections. So what we have is this bag right here. And inside of this bag, I have a very, very, very thin rope. And this very thin rope is my throw line. And this throw line gets attached to a little sandbag. And just in case, I have another little sandbag, because you never know what can happen. And I have another throw rope in here. So what happens is we throw this up and over top of the roof. Once it goes up and over the roof, we're then able to pull our rope back, secure the anchors on both ends, and then climb up to the top of the roof. And that way we stay nice and safe. Now, in addition to this rope bag, or this throw rope right here, we also have a whole bunch of other equipment. And that's what's inside of this bag right here. Tons of equipment. I like climbing and I like being on roofs. Not all roofs, but most roofs I really enjoy. So what else do we have on our toolkit? Well, you always have gloves because you want to keep your hands safe. We have rescuing equipment, so that way if I were to fall, I could bring myself back up onto the roof. But realistically, if I were to fall, I'd probably just set up a figure 8 and go the rest of the way down, because that's just more fun to rappel off of a roof than it is to try to hike your way back up to the top. But if that's not an option, totally understand. And that's why I have all the self-rescue stuff that I have. Extra carabiners are a must, and that pretty much takes care of what you need to know. This harness here is made by Petzl. Pretty much everything here is either Petzl or Black Diamond. It's very climber-esque, but at the same time, this is professional grade roof rope and other pieces of equipment. So specifically designed for going up onto roofs, not necessarily for being out rock climbing. That's what the rest of the other gear is for. But if you have any questions about how to safely get onto your roof, check out some things, some resources on YouTube, because pretty please, don't go on your roof unless you have some type of security. And to that point, if something I feel to be, is unsafe and I don't feel like doing it, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm gonna explain to you the reasons why. I'm not just gonna say no, I'm gonna say this roof is unsafe for these reasons. These conditions are unsafe. I can't get a tether in this regard. And for a normal home inspector, or home inspection, I should say, no home inspector is required to get onto a roof. There is not one home inspector that is required to get onto a roof. So this is an extra service that we offer at Two Moose Home Inspections. And again, if there's snow, if there's ice, if there's other things like that, we don't go on roofs because we value ourselves and our employees. And there's nothing on a roof that being on it is going to make better. And so it's not worth the risk sometimes. So please be safe at home. We're safe at our work. And as always, if you have any questions or if you'd like to schedule a home inspection, please visit twomoosehomeinspections.com. Have a wonderful day.